Okay, so I'm just taking the example. Suppose Ajit want to create a calculator class. Okay, and why he is creating the class? So that he will, when he will create the class, he will make this class available on the internet so that other person can use it. Maybe he can make this class available as free or on the basis of paid basis. Okay, so whenever he is going to create a calculator class, you can assume that it is just like a calculator which is presenting a calculator. So I'm going to create a few functions in this class which is very basic functions, like int a. I'm creating an add function, and now let me print this one. Simply I will say that add, and I will say I will add, or I will say sum, and here I will write, let me add here, int c equal to a plus b here. And now I'm going to say, I can say simply sum, and here I will say seed. Now in the same way, I'm going to create other functions which are needed. So I can say that second we can say that is subtraction, and here I will say sub subtraction. Then I'm going to create a function that is called mul. I'm talking about the multiplication, or you can say that product. Okay, and let me change the operation here, and here let me change the operation here, multiply, and the last function I'm going to create, that is called division. So how many functions I've created in my class?
Four.
Four functions. Four functions I created in my class. Actually, again, I'm saying that I'm just taking the example. This class is created by the Ajit here. Now Ajit has created this class, and he made this class available in the, you can say, open world, or in my case, we can take the example, this class is available in my project, in my batch 35 automation project. This class is available. So if anybody want to use the function of this class, what he can do, tell me. I will take the example. Suppose I will take the example of anyone from here, Irfan. If Irfan want to use the functions of this class, Irfan will simply, what he can do, he will create a main function in his own class, and then will create the object of the calculator. Yes or no?
Your voice is breaking
Your
again.
voice still, yeah, now it's breaking.
Yeah, so that's why I was saying that I have a doubt. Okay, I'm saying
If
that.
you go slow, we can hear you.
Okay, so okay, I'm saying that Ajit has created the calculator class. Okay, and this class is available in the whole project here. If Irfan want to use the function of calculator class, first of all, what he will do, in his own class, he will create the object of calculator. Is it okay?
Yes.
And now, creating the object of calculator, he can call any functions, like you can say add, divide, okay, multiply, and you can say the subtraction here. Okay, now that is okay, simply this one. Okay, now only Irfan, anybody who want to use the functions of the calculator class, he will create the main function in his own class and will start using the function. Is it okay? Yes or no?
Yes.
Now, second scenario, after some time, Ajit decided that he is going to launch another calculator in the market, that is called scientific calculator. Okay, so Ajit is going to create a class scientific calculator. Okay, so now here you have to tell me one thing. When Ajit is going to launch a scientific calculator, definitely it is going to have few more features, but all the old features should be there, like basic features should be there. Yes or no?
Yes.
So I will create one new feature here. Like for example, I'm taking the example. You can give me the example of any scientific calculation. You can give me, I'm just taking the example, suppose tan theta. Is it okay? Everybody have just learned the, I think, what you will say that. So I'm just taking the example of tan theta. And I'm just writing here some code here. I'm not going to write a code to calculate the tan theta, but here I'm simply writing scientific calculator in the, I'm just putting the name of the class. Okay, and then I'm writing the name of the function here. So this function Ajit has created in the scientific calculator, but it should contain the basic functions also. So it means all the functions which we have created in the calculator class, that should be available in this class also. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, now you can see that I have added, it means in my scientific calculator Ajit added one new functions, but he has added all the basic functions also. Like, so that if somebody is going to use the scientific calculator, he will get the basic function as well as scientific calculation related function. And now this time, if Irfan want to use, he will do one thing. He will create the object of, he will, so Irfan is going to create the object of a
Scientific calculator class.
scientific calculator, because it contains all the methods here. So let me show you. I am creating the object of a scientific calculator, and then when I'm saying that scientific calculator, if somebody's, can everybody be on mute? Somebody's on not mute, so I'm
Somebody is
able.
on not mute. Ajit.
Ajit. Okay, so here you can say I have created, again I'm saying means I means Ajit has created a new scientific calculator class in which he has created a new function, and again he has written all the basic function which were already available in the calculator class, but he has written these function in scientific calculator again. And now when Irfan is going to create the object of a scientific calculator and is going to call the function, all the functions are available. Yes or no? Add, division, all the function including the new function tan theta. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, so here I can show you. Here I am going to call the add function. Okay, and let me show you this thing. I've called the add function. Now why am I able to call the add function? Because this function is available in my calculator class. Yes or no? Is it okay? Say yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
I'm just taking this topic very slow. The reason is that this is very important to understand each and every concept of the inheritance. Now tell me one thing. From the scientific calculator, if I will remove all the basic functions here and I'm using this function in my Irfan class, so definitely it will give the error. Yes or no?
Right. Yes.
Simply because we know that in my initial stage, scientific calculator contains the function like you can say add, subtract, divide, and multiply, as well as new function. But now because I have removed the function, all the basic functions from the scientific calculator class, that's why in the Irfan class I'm getting the error, and that is very simple. I think anybody have any doubt why I'm getting the error on my line number 10 in my Irfan class? Anybody have any doubt?
No.
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 So now here the inheritance comes into the picture. Like suppose take the example, if you have a requirement, just listen carefully. If you have a requirement that you want to make few functions available in your class, okay, you want to make few functions available in a class like scientific calculator, but these functions are already available in some other class. these functions are already available in other class, then you don't need to rewrite those functions in this scientific calculator. You can use the concept of inheritance. How? Inheritance means you can do one thing. You need the function from the all the functions which are available in the calculator class. Yes or no? You need all the functions which are available in the calculator class in your scientific calculator. Yes or no?
Yes.
And without rewriting, you don't want to rewrite these functions in your scientific calculator class. So what is the solution? Simply see that I will do one thing in my scientific calculator class. I'm going to use a syntax scientific calculator extends, and then I will write the name of calculator class. And when I am going to write this line of code, you will see that the error will be gone from my Irfan class also. Are you able to see? I have opened all the classes in front of you separately. So are you able to see? Are you able to see any error on line number 10 in Irfan? No. But the question is that I have not written this add function in my scientific calculator. Then why it is not giving the error in line number 10 on Irfan? Because I'm calling the function add from the scientific calculator. Because add is not available in the scientific calculator. It is available in the calculator class. Yes or no? Is it okay?
Yes.
So whenever you are writing this syntax, like in your class, you are using a syntax like class, and after class, you are writing extend and calculator. Actually, this line of code creates an inheritance relationship where the first class become the child, behaves like a child, and after extend whatever you have written, that class work as a parent. Okay. And now what is the benefit of this one? Whenever a class extends another class, okay, like a parent, all the functions of a parent will be available in the child class. Are you getting my point? Are you getting my point?
Yes.
Yes.
So
Can you please repeat this?
So I am saying that whenever you are making a relationship of inheritance, means the child parent relationship in your class, then all the functions of the parent will be available in the child class. And you can say that just like in the invisible format, or you can say when you will run your code, these function will be available in your class, and you can see it. You can see it clearly. I am calling the add function, and even you can see that if I'm going to write sccal dot, are you able to see the add function here? I am able to access the add and division function with the help of scientific calculator object. Yes or no?
Yes.
But tell me one thing. These add division functions are really available in scientific calculator? No. These are available in calculator class. But why am I able to access with the scientific calculator object? Because I told you, whenever you are making a relationship of inheritance, means child and parent. So here the scientific calculator, the first class become the child, and after extend whatever you have mentioned the name of the class, that becomes the parent. And the feature of inheritance is that all the functions of the parent will be available in the child. Just like you can assume that you are not able to see, but it will be something like that at runtime. This function will be available in my child class, something like this. Yes or no? Are you getting my point? So what is the
Yes.
what is the benefit of inheritance? Whenever you have a requirement that you want to create few functions in your one class, okay, any class, and those functions are already available in any other class, so you don't need to rewrite those functions in your class. Okay, you can make that those function available in your class, just making a relationship of inheritance. So this is clear. First class scientific calculator is a child, and after extend whatever you are mentioning, that class works as a parent. So all the functions of the parent will be available in the child. So whenever you are creating an object of scientific calculator, it will be available in your child class. Is it okay? Any doubt till now? I'm going. Yeah.
Yeah, but these are actually main calculator class and Infan is clear to me. But
can you little bit explain this scientific calculator? Why we have written this one? We are just printing out that thing, science calculator tan theta.
No, actually you can say that, you can assume it from the real life concept. So Ajit is running a business of calculators. Initially he's created a calculator class like a calculator, and now this calculator is a simple calculator which is available in the market. And how many functions are there? Four functions. Is it okay?
Hanji, yes, sir.
Okay, now come to this point. After some time, maybe after 1 year, Ajit decided, I am going to launch a new scientific calculator in the market. Now tell me one thing, whenever he is going to make a scientific calculator available in the market, how many functions should be in the scientific calculator? Maybe it can contains 2 3 scientific calculation functions, but it should contain the basic functions also. Yes or no? Like add, subtract.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes
sir.
or no? So
Yes, sir.
now Ajit has two options. One option is that Ajit can do one thing. Ajit can rewrite these function in the scientific calculator. In this way, now this function will be available in my scientific calculation class. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
So one option is that Ajit has already these function in another class in the same project. Same functions are available in only another class, but in the same project, but still he need to write those function again. So actually it is a duplicacy of code. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
So now we can
Yes.
get rid of this thing. We can get rid of this thing. We can save this thing. We don't need to rewrite this code in the scientific calculator. But for that purpose, you have to make a relationship. And I'm saying that that relationship means you are going to make a relation between the scientific calculator and the calculator class. Okay, so that all the functions which are available in the calculator class are automatically available in my scientific calculator without rewriting. Are you getting my point? So whenever you are using this keyword, scientific calculator, extend calculator, all these function will be available in my scientific calculator. And now you can see there, if anywhere in your class, like Irfan is creating the object of scientific calculator, he is able to access all the functions from the calculator and the scientific calculator. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. Is still anybody have any doubt? Just tell me. This session is going to be very slow. Doesn't matter. I told you the toughest topic, people say that inheritance, but it is very easy. Actually, you can say the student do not provide the sufficient time in understanding, and also the fault of the trainer side. He is not going to provide the sufficient time. So don't think about the time. Just clear your doubt. I'm going to you a free option. Any point of time, any point of topic you are not clear, just stop me, Pradeep. I'm not clear on this point. So this thing is clear that whenever you want to make few functions available in your another class, two options are there. One option is that rewrite this code again in the scientific calculator. Then you don't need any type of relationship. But second option, if you don't want to rewrite these function in your another class, but still you want to make them available, so in that case you can make a relationship. Is it okay? This is clear. Scientific calculator is a child and parent calculator is a parent class. Is it okay?
Yes.
Pradeep sir, can can you remove this extend?
Okay, so let me show you that thing. Before that, let me call the add function here so that you can see the difference. Currently, are you able to see any error at line number 10 in Irfan?
No, 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 sir.
Because this function, you are able to see the add function. And let me do one thing. Let me show you very interesting thing. When I'm saying scientific calculator dot add, are you able to see the syntax of add? The first thing you are able to see, that is called add. Name of the function it is displaying. Then the curly bracket, and after colon, what is written here? Void. So after colon, what is mentioned here? The written type of the function. And after the dash, are you able to see the name of the class? What is that?
Calculator. Yes,
Calculator. And you know that this you are able to access, you are able to see the add function using the scientific calculator. But scientific calculator do not contain this function. Actually, this function is available in calculator class. But how you are able to access is using the child class, because scientific calculator is working a, like a child for the calculator. So all the functions, all the property of the parent will be available in the child. Are you getting my point?
Here, one question.
Yeah.
Pradeep, so we are inheriting the properties of calculator into
Scientific calculator.
scientific calculator,
Exactly.
and uh,
And
yeah,
nothing.
about this, about this Irfan. So we are not inheriting anything
No, no.
from the either
Just think about that. Irfan is using the scientific calculator class. Yes or no?
yes,
And scientific calculator itself contains these four functions because they are now they are scientific calculator is a child of a calculator. Yes or no?
correct,
So if
yes,
you are going to use the scientific calculator, it contains the function. It doesn't matter where you are using it. I understand what you want to say. That let me show you that thing also. I got one point from your concern. Like if I'm going to write this code, just see that if I'm going to write this code, that will be available in my calculator class also. That is fact, right?
yeah,
Yeah. So same code means you can create the object of scientific calculator in its own class, and still you can call the add function. But from where add function is coming? From where?
calculator.
Yeah, it is coming from the calculator, and you can see then the syntax. Add function, just again focus, add function name colon, after colon, this is the return type of the function. That is the syntax. Just before the colon we write the name of the function. You will see the rate of the function, then return type, and after that you will see the name of the class who is the owner of the function. Is it okay?
Yeah.
So now you can see that you are able to access the calculator function which is coming from the calculator class, not from the scientific calculator. But scientific calculator can access all the functions from the parent also. That is okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let me do this thing here. Let me do second thing. I'm just going to show you everything in the back also. Now suppose take the example. I'm just giving the example. Suppose I'm not using the extend here. Okay. So now what is the scenario? Scientific calculator. Let me show you that still I'm able to see the add function. Are you able to see the add function now?
No.
No, because now scientific calculator is a very common class, just like a simple class. It can access only his own function. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now you can see same thing in my Irfan class also. Now we are not able to see the add function because add function is available in the calculator class, not in the scientific calculator. If you want to access the calculator function, add function of the calculator, again let me report it. First way is create this function in my scientific calculator. Now you have recreated this function. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now you have recreated this function. Now scientific calculator, if you are going to say dot, you can see the add function. Now who is the owner of this function? Tell me what is written in the syntax. Scientific calculator. You are able to see add colon void and scientific calculator. Yes or no?
Yes.
So now here you can say this function is available in calculator. So this is a simple scenario. If you have a function, you can access it. Yes or no? But again, let me come back to the scenario. You are not able to see the add function here. Okay, you are not able to see the add function here, but you can access it. How? Second option, just make a relation of inheritance. How? Just make your class as a child of calculator. Are you getting my point? Now you can see that. Are you able to access the add function here? But who is the owner?
Yes.
Who is the actual owner? So now
Calculator.
it means with the help of this scientific calculator is the object of scientific calculator. With the help of scientific calculator object, you can access the functions of calculator because calculator is become the parent of scientific calculator. Getting my point? Is it okay?
Yes.
Now let me again I'm saying that if you have any doubt, because now I'm going to make it little bit complex. So you can see that if I'm going to put the add function, no error, because I can call the add function. And here also in the Irfan also you can say in the Irfan class you have created the scientific calculator object and then you call the add function. Yes or no? That is clear? Yes or no? Guys, say yes or
Yes.
no.
Deep sir, yes, sir. But my point is, where we will use that, because why we are making it so complicated, because we can simply write these calculator function in our scientific calculator as well.
Actually, that thing is also complex. Now tell me one thing. If you have already one thing available in your own project, why you are again creating? Just tell me one thing. If you are going to create, actually you are going to write these line of code again, yes or no? In the scientific calculator you are going to write this code again, yes or no?
Yeah. So basically, we are
Uh,
calling to our parent as well
yeah,
wherever we are required it.
Yes, so actually,
actually, the adding to his Pradeep, adding to his question. So, like, why this Irfan is came into picture? Because anyway, psi calculator extending the
no,
calculator
yeah, but
from
who
the
tell,
calculator.
but tell me one thing. That's why I've given the example. Who created the initial calculator class? Ajit. Then Ajit created the
Yes,
scientific calculator. So Ajit is the designer or actual owner of the class. Now who I am want to show you that how you are going to simulate a user. Irfan is a user, yes or no? Irfan is a user. Irfan is a third
yes,
person, yes or no?
yes.
So a third person is creating the object of scientific
Okay,
calculator. Now
you
Irfan will never come to know, in the normal way, Irfan will never come to know that it thus add function is coming from the calculator or scientific. From his perspective, every function is available in scientific calculator, yes or no?
okay? Okay, now I got. I'll just reiterate. So Irfan is a user who want to access this just the scientific calculator, not the actual calculator,
Yeah,
because scientific calculator is containing
more
basic
functions
features. Yes.
plus more
So
functions.
he just wanted to use this one,
Yeah,
and that is the reason we uh, he's accessing scientific calculator, and back at the back end, scientific calculator is uh,
accessing the calculator.
okay, okay,
And
got
now
it
you
now.
can say that now I can make it more little bit logical. How? Just think about that. Initially, as he designed a calculator, it is something like a calculator version 1. Then he launched new calculator, and after some time Ajit decided, oh, market is very competitive, so now I'm going to, after 2 years, I'm going to launch a advanced calculator, yes or no? Are you getting my point? Yeah, tell me yes or no.
Yes,
Yes, yes, yes,
Yes.
And
yes.
now this time when Ajit is going to advanced calculator, now tell me, he will make this calculator competitive in the market. So this should contains all the functions, all the basic functions, scientific functions, as well as new advanced functions. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Right.
yes,
So now just see the see the benefit of inheritance. One options. When I am going, when Ajit is going to design this class, one option, create these 4 functions in this class and then 10 theta functions. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Now another simple way, simply do one thing. Now EXTENDS, and I will write scientific calculator.
Scientific calculator.
So
Yes.
now the
Scientific calculation.
benefit is just think about the hierarchy, like you are getting the, and you are not able to understand this concept easily, but whenever you got to know that your grandfather has a very something like a property haveli, and you are the owner because you are the child, and you are the child of child, yes or no? So
Yes.
you are a grandchild. So now just assume
Correct.
it, calculator is a class which is getting the property from calculator to scientific calculator, and now the third class makes scientific calculator as a child. So scientific calculator, all the properties from the scientific calculator will be available in the advanced calculator, yes or no?
Yes.
And now you can see the advantage.
Yes.
Now as a Irfan user, he will simply use advanced calculator. Just see here, advanced calculator. And advanced calculator, I can create few functions the advanced calculator, but I want to show you the benefit here. Now if you are calling the advanced calculator, just tell me, are you able to see the all the functions which are available in calculator and scientific calculator that are available here or not? Tell me. Add is there? Add is
Yes.
there?
yes,
Yes.
Owner is calculator, but still you can access scientific calculator with the help of scientific calculator object. You are able to say tan theta. Who is the owner of that?
Scientific calculator.
But you are able to access it. And suppose, take the example, you have created few more function that are new to the advanced, that will be accessible. So using the single object, you are able to access all the functions. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
So now you got, so this concept is called multi-level inheritance. This is known as
Multi-level.
multi-level means, because now if you talk about this whole relationship, calculator is actually working as a grandparent, then scientific calculator is a parent, and now the advanced calculator is a child. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
So only the advantage is that whenever you want to design a class, so while designing, if you want to make few functions, you have want to write few function in your class, but that are already available in another class, you can simply extend and you can use it. Is it okay? Is it okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so now again, now this thing is clear, everybody is clear on that, because now again I'm saying that every time I will move to the next level, your concept will be little bit complicated. So every previous thing is going to help you understanding the topic. Okay, so I will do one thing, simply write, I'm using the add here. Okay, so I'm writing here code add, and let me do one thing, let me write the same code in the scientific calculator as well as the Irfan. So I will take the example with the scientific calculator first, this one. Okay, so now this thing is clear why I'm able to access this scientific calculator add function, because scientific calculator is a child and I can access this function in any other class also. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Now I'm going to call other function here. Just see carefully. Scientific calculator dot, I'm calling div here, and same function I'm calling in my Irfan class. Is it okay? Is it okay?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so now let me make little bit things here, little bit different, so that you can understand. Currently the all the classes advanced calculator, calculator and scientific, these all are in the same package. Let me do one thing, let me put calculator and scientific in different package. So I will move calculator from here to 3 package. Now package are different. Yes or no? I will tell you why I'm doing it, but this thing is clear. The package of scientific calculator and calculator are different. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
now let me come. I'm going very slowly. Don't worry. I'm just going like I'm just working as spoon feeding. But you guys have to support me. Okay. Now think, are you able to see that? Scientific calculator class is in different package, calculator is in different package. I have make a relationship of inheritance, but you are able to see any error on line number this one, add and div function in the scientific calculator as well in the Irfan? No. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes.
It is working fine.
Yes.
Now I'm going to make a change in my calculator class. Just see here, I'm going to make the diff function, instead of public, I'm going to make it first of all private.
Private.
Don't worry, I'm going to tell you each and everything easily. Now tell me if anything, when I make this function available, diff function only, I make it private in my calculator class, are you able to see the error in both the classes, scientific calculator and calculator
Yes.
class? On which line?
Yes, sir.
This div only, this div only.
Div.
So now first rule, if your class contains a private function, it cannot be inherited. It cannot be inherited. Means if your class contains a private function and still you are making a inheritance relationship, so inheritance, private function will not be inherited. Getting my point?
Yes, sir. Because they should be in the same package,
Say no, same class
No, no.
only.
same
Same
class.
class.
So
Private thing is accessible in the same class. Now I will go to the second level. I will, instead of making this diff function private, I will make it default. Default means no access specifier. Can you tell me that still you are able to see the error on line number on a child class, scientific calculator and
Yes.
Irfan class? Okay, now again the condition is that, just think about that, whenever you have a access specifier of default, default can also not be inherited. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
Default function can also not be
Yes, yes.
inherited. Now the
Inherited.
third thing, public, you know that public functions are actually available from everywhere. Second, public function can also be inherited. Public function can inherited. Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
So now you can say diff function which is available in calculator class. This is available in scientific calculator. You can say this line you are not getting error, and here also you are getting the error. Now let me do one thing. Now let me go to the another access specifier, protected. Tell me one thing. Now where you are getting the error? Are you getting the error in scientific calculator, or you are getting the error in far?
Irfan.
Irfan. Okay,
Irfan.
just wait for 2 minutes. Let me add the charger here, then we will continue. Okay, and session is very interesting. Just wait. Okay, so now what I was saying that you are able to see the error in Irfan class, but you are not able to see the error in scientific calculator. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
So
Yes.
now just see, understand, whenever when you are talking about the protected is a special type of access specifier which is given to give the restriction, or you can say to give the access of this function only to the child, only to the child only. So now you can say that if this function is protected, only the child can use it in his own class. No other third person can use it. So actually, when scientific calculator is creating the object of its own, he can access the diff function. But a third person, Irfan, he can create the object of scientific calculator, but he can access only the public functions. Are you getting my point?
Can you repeat?
Yeah, I'm saying that whenever you are talking about the Irfan is a third person. So Irfan can create the object of a scientific calculator, but in Irfan class, the visibility of protected function will not be there, because you are creating the scientific calculator object in the Irfan class. Okay, and div and protected function can be accessible only within the class and child class. Getting my point? So tell me, scientific calculator is a child
Yeah.
of calculator, yes or no? So
Yes.
scientific calculator, when scientific calculator will try to access the diff function, he can access in his own class, but the Irfan cannot access. Irfan is a third person. So protected function can be inherited only into the child class only. They are not inherited, or you can say they cannot be available for the third person. Are you getting my point?
Yeah.
So now,
What is
Yes, yes.
if
yeah,
we
tell me.
create a yeah if we inherit the calculator class in
Mhm.
Irfan,
Yeah. So now again,
then
if you,
we can use the div function.
yeah, but you can say that again, whenever you are extending the scientific calculator for Irfan, then using Irfan you will not do it. Oh, sorry, using scientific calculator, nahi. In that case, you have to create the object of Irfan. Yes or no? You can, because you can use the child object to access the parent functions. Yes or no? Okay, let me show you this thing. Maybe you are not clear on that. Let me show you. I'm writing extend everything. See it. I know that this topic is a little bit complicated, but now my role is to show you. Now tell me, I have extend scientific calculator. Are you able to see the error here?
Yes.
Because now tell me one thing. Irfan, you can say Irfan is a parent of scientific calculator. That is okay. Irfan is a parent of scientific calculator. But you have created the object of which one? Irfan or scientific calculator? You have,
Scientific calculator.
yes.
Scientific
So
calculator.
so if you want to access all the function from the scientific calculator, you have to create the object of child, means itself Irfan. Now create the object of Irfan and see that you are able to see the error on the div. Are you able to see the error now on div?
No.
Because you are accessing the, you, I understand why you are confusing. You are confusing that you, when Irfan is become the child of the scientific calculator, he can access, but using his own object. Yes or no?
Okay.
Not the scientific, because again scientific calculator, whenever you are creating the scientific calculator object, from the scientific perspective, this function is, you can say, inherited only into the scientific calculator. Are you getting my point? Is it okay?
Come again. I have a question here.
Yeah.
So your div function is protected
The function is
in
protected
calculator class.
in calculator class.
Okay. Calculator class is being extended by scientific calculator.
Scientific
So
calculator.
so div function is accessible in the scientific calculator class.
Exactly.
Yeah. And now we are extending scientific calculator class in Irfan class.
Right. So
And
this
here
function,
we are.
yeah, so same rule. This function, now just assume that this function is available as a protected in calculator. When you make calculator as a parent, so the same function, I told you, simply understand in this way. Now whenever you are writing calculator, you are not able to see, but the scenario is something like this one. Yes or no? This is available here. Yes or no?
Yes.
Just assume that I told you that you are not able to see. That is the benefit of inheritance. You are not able to see, but actually code is written in such a way. Now think about that. This function is written here in child. When Irfan will make a scientific calculator, this function will available something like that here also, because that is a part of scientific calculator. So it will be a part of Irfan also. Yes or no?
Yes.
So only the why people are confused, because you are not able to understand that this function you are not able to see, but that is actually available with the help of inheritance in the invisible format. Yes or no?
So my question here is,
Yeah.
in the Irfan class,
Mm-hmm.
the error is not shown because we are not inheriting the function. We are just calling the function from scientific calculator class by.
Excellent. Yeah, please repeat it. This is very beautiful explanation for everybody. Yeah, please repeat it again.
So in the Irfan class, we are not getting error on the div function
Currently.
because we are creating the object of Irfan class.
Yeah.
And we are calling the method div from the scientific calculator class.
Yeah,
We are
because
not.
yeah, because Irfan, now Irfan can contains all the function from scientific calculator, and so the Irfan will become the grandchild of calculator. Yes or no?
Yes.
But if I'm saying that, if instead of that, if I'm creating
But
the
now,
object,
as you,
but
sorry,
if I'm creating the object of scientific calculator, now tell me one thing. This protected function is accessible within the child class. Yes or no? Are you getting my point?
Yes.
And now you are creating the object of scientific calculator. You are not creating the object of Irfan. Are you getting my point?
Yes, yes.
So if you want to access it, I understand this protector is available here. This is available as it is in the invisible format here. But now tell me one thing. This is available in the child, and here you are creating the object of scientific calculator. Are you getting my point? Scientific calculator, you have to create the object
Yes.
of a child to access the parent thing. Yes or no? Are you getting my
Yes,
point
yes.
now?
Yeah.
So that is the benefit. That is the benefit, that whenever you are making inheritance, your child has access to all the function of parent. If still you are using the you can say creating the object of something else, that is not going to work for you. Are you getting my point?
So
Yeah.
another question.
Yeah.
Suppose there is another class which we create, suppose Nikhil.
Okay.
And there also, if we extend scientific calculator and
Okay.
create the object of Nikhil class, we
Okay.
won't get error on the div function because we
Actually,
are simply calling the function from the scientific calculator class.
simple. If you are calling any, if you are creating the object, you are creating a scientific calculator. object. So every public function you can access it without any relation. Yes or no?
Yes.
You can access the tan theta easily, but you can say that protected function is available in scientific calculator. In nickel class, you will create the object of a scientific calculator. How it can be accessible there? Because that is a third class. Yes or no?
Yes.
Please. Okay. As I told you, again, I'm saying that concept is going to be little bit complex. First, I told you about the inheritance. Then I told you what is the impact of inheritance on the access specifier. Your access specifier is going to restrict the level of access in your inheritance. Why I told you this thing? That if you're in your inheritance, if you really want to make a restriction like this thing should be accessible by only the child, then you should make it protected. That is the only concern, that you should make a protected when you want to make it available in the child class only. Are you getting my point?
Yeah.
Okay, now whatever you asked me, that is the actually the next level of the inheritance. Now tell me one thing. For that purpose, I can do one thing. Let me take the example of another class. So first of all, let me take the example of another class. I'm going to create another class in the actually you can say the really complex thing is the different package, because in the same package you will see that you will not see any type of issues. So that's why I'm creating another package for third example, com.org.4. okay, now I'm going to
Like,
create a class.
Pradeep, just
Yeah,
one thing.
yeah, yeah, tell
Like,
me, tell me.
in that case, like, yeah, as you have said that if we mention that protected,
Okay,
right?
yeah,
So only the scientific calculator, which is a child of a
calculator.
calculator,
Yeah,
yeah. So only child can use the protected function, right?
yeah, right.
But now when we have just went to this Irfan class,
Mm-hmm,
and like if we want to use that protected function, we
mm-hmm,
make a object of Irfan, right?
right.
So in that case, we in like by creating an object of the Irfan class only, we
Mm-hmm.
can use the protected function of
Yes,
the parent. Then
yes,
what is
yes.
the like significance of making protected? Like we can use that function also in the Irfan class also.
How? Just tell me. Just tell me how you can use it. Just simply understand that. Uh, are you able to use
By
the
creating object of Irfan
yeah?
class.
So tell me, are you able to access the diff function in your Irfan class without Irfan object? You have a dependency that Irfan, who is actually the child, when you are going to create an object of that, then only you can access the diff function, which is actually coming from the parent. So Irfan, the child can only access. Getting my point?
In and right now, Irfan is acting as a child of scientific calculator, right?
Yes, yes. So in the whole hierarchy, Irfan is acting as a grandchild of the calculator. Getting my point?
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. When you make after this session, try to watch this video 2-3 times and try to revise it. And always make one thing. Always try to create classes in different package. Otherwise, sometime you will confuse it. Okay, I'm not going to tell you that what you will confuse, but whenever you are going to create the child and the parent in the same package, then you will be little bit confused. So I don't want to tell you that thing. If you have a doubt, then you come to the session and ask me, Pradeep, I have a doubt. When you are making the child and parent in the same package. Okay, now let me come to that point. Now tell me, in the real life, I'm just talking about the relations of inheritance. Nowadays I know that you can say population is very high, but still you can say people prefer two childs. Yes or no? So I'm giving the example that currently in the hierarchy, calculator has one child, scientific calculator, and the scientific calculator has a child of advanced calculator. So let me remove this Irfan as a inheritance. So in the inheritance, calculator, how many childs the calculator have? How many childs? Tell me, guys, how many child of a
One.
calculator class? One. And what is that? Scientific calculator. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So now I'm going to make another child, scientific calculator 2. Okay, so now when I'm writing this code, actually technically it is not a child in terms of syntax. Tell me, this class is really a child of calculator? Technically it is a child of calculator, yes or no?
No.
No,
No.
because
No.
technically means when I'm going to write this syntax, then only it will become the child of calculator, yes or no?
Yes.
So
Yes.
now in my picture, I have a calculator class and it contains two childs, scientific calculator, that is one, and scientific calculator two. So now two childs are there. So here you can see that both are going to follow the rules. Like every class will get the functions from the parent. If you want to see, let me show you one thing also. In my scientific calculator also, if I will make the object of a, let me create a main function here because I need a main function here. So in my scientific calculator 2 also, if I'm going to create a main function here, and then I'm going to create the scientific calculator 2. Okay, so it will contain the function from calculator, yes or no? Guys, tell me yes or no.
Yes.
So technically you can see that this can be the another concept that like a parent can have two childs, but the rule is same. Every child has a access. Every child has a access of the parent property. Now you can say that if I write scientific calculator 2 dot, it has same access like the scientific calculator, yes or no?
Yes.
So so now here you will see that one, that a child can have two child, a parent can have two childs, and every child has a equal right that he will get the function from the parent, but using the same rule of access specifier. Are you getting my point? Are you getting my point? Haji, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So now you can see that. Are you able to see the diff function here?
Yes.
Because diff function is protected in the calculator, so scientific calculator can access it, scientific calculator 2 can access it, both are child. But now again, if you will see that, if we will try to make it in the Irfan class, okay, if whether you are creating the object of scientific calculator or you are creating the object of a scientific calculator 2, in both the cases Irfan will not able to access it, yes or no? Okay, let me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now you can see that you are getting the error on div also, yes or no?
Yes.
So it means again,
Yes.
it proves that every child have a access of the protected function from the parent, but nobody else can access it. Is it okay? If everybody okay, then I will move to the next. Yes or no?
Yes.
Trust me, this session, this
Yes.
recorded session, you are going to watch 2-3 times, and trust me, definitely I will deny it, but you are going to share this session with your friends. Just see that how inheritance should be learned properly. Okay, so now let me move to the next. So now let me do one thing. This is my scientific calculator class. This is my scientific calculator 2. So how many child we have? 2. Is it okay? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, now let me do one thing. I'm going to move to the next topic. And what is next topic? Let me tell you. So now let me do one thing. I'm going to create the object of a scientific calculator 2 here, so I can call the function add here. Okay, that is okay. And in my scientific calculator, I am creating the object of scientific calculator. I'm able to call it. Now third thing is that in my scientific 2, I'm calling the add function. Let me call the add. Just I'm taking the example of add. Okay, now tell me one thing. If I will run the code in my scientific calculator to add function, okay, so tell me which function it will call. Tell me which function. What will be printed here? Tell me. Anybody can guess? Are you getting my question? I'm going to run this code. This one. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me remove the calculator here. Okay, let me do one thing so that your understanding will be easy. I will write calculator add. Let me use that. So whenever I'm writing calculator add, this printing means the function is calling from the calculator class. Is it okay? Haji, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you that why I'm writing this thing. So let me close it. Let me close it. Okay. So now only just see it here. I'm calling the add function. If I'm going to run it, just tell me what you are able to see that. From where it is calling the add function. What is printing here?
9.
From calculator.
From calculator. That's why I
Calculator.
mentioned the calculator so that you can see it easily. Now let me do one thing. I'm going to create the object of scientific calculator. Scientific calculator only. Okay. In the Irfan scient cal. And let me run it. Let me run it. And I will call the same function here. Okay. So Irfan is a third person. So I'm creating the first child object and calling the function. And here let me call the function with the second child object. And just tell me what you are able to see here. I'm running it. Okay. Now just see that what output you are getting here. You are getting the same output? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Now let me do one thing. Let me create the object. Irfan is a third person. He has a right to create the object of a calculator also. Yes or no?
Yes.
So because you have given the option that you are giving the more recent version of the calculator, but he has a choice that he can go with the old one also, right? So I'm just showing you the different type of conditions here. Let me run it. I'm just calling the add function here with the help of calculator object. So there are three possibilities are there, right? Only three possibilities are there. Yeah. So
Yes.
let me run it. So currently you can say that you are calling the add function. So you are creating the object of a calculator. It will go to the calculator class. Yes, this calculator class, it will go and will call the add function, this one, right? This will also call the add function from the parent because it is also going to the parent. Yes or no? And third one is also going to the parent. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, now I'm going to the next level. Just think about that. Whenever you are creating a child class, it always gets the method from the parent. It always gets the method from the parent. But you have a condition. You have a condition that if your child want to still rewrite that function, just think about that. I'm just taking example of scientific calculator 2. Scientific calculator also get the function from the parent. Scientific calculator has an option. Scientific calculator has an option to get the function from the
Sir,
parent, that add. Yes or no? Scientific
sir, I
calculator.
have a
Yes.
question here.
Yeah, please.
Actually, in the Irfan class, we have we have deleted the extend keywords, right?
Yeah,
Extends keyword.
yeah.
So how come we are able to use the functions of the calculator and
Because add function is a public function. You are using in a normal way. Yes or no?
Yeah,
Add.
it is just confused previously protected function added and
No.
given
Add
the
was
example
not.
now.
Actually, div was protected function. That's why I'm showing you. Currently, I'm taking the example of add function. You can use
Only,
add
yes,
function.
yes.
Don't confuse it. That's why I'm
Yes,
saying that.
sorry.
I'm saying that you are going to watch this video. Trust me, you are going to watch this video 2-3 times because I know that this concept is complex. That's why I'm giving the proper time for that. Otherwise, this topic usually trainers completes within 30 minutes. But I know the complexity that I'm giving the proper time as I committed in the demo session. Okay, so this is add. Still, you want to see? Let me show you that thing. If I'm going to call the, just tell me, are you able to see the div function here?
Yes. Sorry. No, D function is not there.
No.
Because
no?
you are accessing calculator in Irfan, and Irfan is not a child of calculator, but you know that that is available in the calculator. Yes or no?
Yes.
And same thing will be applicable for others. Yes or no?
But irrespective
Yes,
of
yes.
access specifiers, I'm mainly focused on this extends keyword. Like, how could we do that without extends?
Because again, tell me one thing. You can create object of any class. Only the concern is the functions, that how the function will be accessed. So if you made any function as a public, that is simply for everybody. Are you getting my point? Actually, you can say that this class is a child of calculator, but first of all, this class is a normal class also. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Are you getting my
You have
point?
imported it, Swapna, because
Yeah.
we have used import.
Yes, so actually
Okay.
this function is not used here as a, you can say, as a inheritance. You are creating the object of a scientific calculator, and that contains a function as a add. Okay, again, just think about that. I got your point why you are confusing. You are saying that, Pradeep, I am not able to see the add function in my scientific calculator. It is coming from the parent. Yes or no?
Yes.
I got your concern. Now I got your concern. You are saying that, just assume that. You are saying that, Pradeep, this calculator contains a function add. That I understand that you are able to access it, right? Now you are saying that, Pradeep, in scientific calculator, we don't have add function, right? Because it has not add function. This add function is coming in the scientific calculator using the inheritance. Getting my point?
Yes.
But now think of, again, I told you, whenever you become confused, always think one thing, that this function is, you are not able to see, but using the inheritance, it will be available according to the access specifier. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yeah.
So now tell me one thing, just forget about the calculator now. Indirectly, scientific calculator is a calculator. So now this function will be something like this. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
So now tell me, if you are going to create an object of scientific calculator, and in the scientific calculator add function is public, so you can access it anywhere. Yes or no?
Yes.
And now again, I know again I'm just recapping the concept. Let me call the here a diff function. I'm not going to worry about that. I need to repeat it, but I want to make sure that everybody understand. Are you getting any error here? Are you getting any error?
No.
No.
Okay, now let me do one thing. Again, go to the Irfan class. I know that this is confusing, but I will not leave any single person. Okay, here you can see that even I can write the code in my Irfan, because that function is not accessible. You can see that here scientific calculator is an object of scientific calculator 2. Yes or no?
Yes.
Because now again you want to understand this thing, simply understand in this way. Just forget about that. Now tell me one thing. As I told you, scientific calculator is a child of calculator. So it means this protected function which is available in my child class. Where is the protected div here? Okay, let me do one thing. Yeah, div 1. Div is here. Guys, say yes or
Yeah.
no? Now just see, you are just understand simple way. If I'm saying that scientific calculator is a child of calculator, so it means this function will be available in this class in same way. Yes or no? It can be inherited, but in the same way, it access specifier will be same. Yes or no? Tell me yes or no.
Yeah.
Now up, just now think about that. This scientific calculator is a normal class. From the perspective of Irfan, it contains a protected function. Can Irfan access any protected function from a class?
No, only if extents
Yes,
can
only
do.
extend. So now, whenever you are just getting confused, so do one thing. In your inherited class, try to make that function available by writing on it. I'm just trying to make this code available, visible here. Otherwise, this is already here. Just trying to make you comfortable. I'm trying to make it available. Are you getting my point? But indirectly, that function is available here. So now a function is protected here. How it can be accessed by someone else? Yes or no? Getting my point?
Yes.
Yes.
So that I know that again. So every time whenever confuse it, just simple understand that whenever you have created a class, what will be the final structure? I know that you are just thinking about it, Pradeep. Here I'm not able to see the add function in this class. I'm not able to see the div function here class. That is okay. But how Irfan can access it? Simple. If a function is coming through the inheritance in this class, and if it is public, it will be available for everybody, just like a normal function, right? But if this class is inheriting a protected function, this will not be available to every class as a normal function. That's why it can access the add, but it cannot access the protected. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Chaliye, let me make it more example. In the scientific calculator class, it is a class. So can I make a few function here like a private? Yes or no? Tell me one thing. Every child can have. You are a child of your parent. Can you create your own private property? Yes or no?
Yes.
So now think about that. I am creating a function welcome. Now tell me one thing. You will say that Pradeep, it is a child. How you can create a private function? Because calculator is a parent. Okay, from the calculator, when one function will come to the child class as a inheritance, then access specifier matters. But in your own class as a child, you can create the private function. Yes or no? Yes or
Yeah,
no?
we can create in the
Yes.
But now tell me one thing. Now just think, think clearly. If I am creating a scientific calculator object in my Irfan class, do you think this welcome function will be available here? Just give me the answer. Yes or no?
No, no.
I think now you are getting my point that when the class is inheriting, the final structure will be available to the other classes in the same way, just like a normal class. Yes or no? Getting my point?
yeah.
So this private you have created. So again, for every class, this will be a rule. Even your child, if you are going to create a child of scientific 2, welcome will not be accessible to that also. Yes or no?
Yes.
This welcome is the only property of this child. It is not the property of a calculator parent. Even the this will not be a function for child. This is only for scientific calculator. Getting my point? Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, same way I told you, as you created this function, and you, if the some function is coming from the parent to child, same thing is there. If that function is available here, now for the other classes, rule will be same. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Can you repeat?
I'm saying that whenever you are creating a child class, okay, it is inheriting something. You can do one thing. Just think about that, how the function from the parent will be available in the child. And then you can think about that those functions are accessible by other classes or not. Because you have to think about the access specifier. Getting my point?
Yeah.
So when a function is coming from parent to child, is its access specifier never changes. So for the other classes, rule will be same. Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay. So now let me again go back. Let me again make it simple. So now this one. Okay, now let me come back another point. I don't want to confuse you. That's why I have taken the example of public function here. Like this function is calculator, scientific calculator and scientific calculator 2. When I'm running it, you are getting the statement calculator because all functions are coming from the calculator class. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Now just think, I told you every child class have a access of the parent functions. So that function, like take the example, add is available in the child class, but that is coming from the parent. But
Parent
still,
class.
you can say that if child is want that functions to be intensely rewrite in the child class, let me write something like this. I am just copying this function from parent to child. That is available in the invisible format, right? But again, if you are making this function, again you are rewriting and you are making the changes in the implementation. You are making the changes in the coding part. You are making the changes in the coding part. Then you will see that what will happen. I'm going to run this code again right side. Just see that what is the output here. What output you are able to see now?
The calculator. Because
Child class.
for Irfan and the calculator.
Haji, is it okay? Anybody have any doubt why it is printing the scientific calculator 2?
Because this is a parent
Because
I will tell
for
you.
child
Irfan.
class has overwritten the parent
Yes.
class method.
Yes. So
Parent.
actually what is happening here? Always think about in this way. The concept is that whenever you are creating the object of a child, okay? So first of all, whenever you are calling a function, first the function is actually checked in the own class. It is checked in the own class that this function is available in the add own class or not. If it is available in the own class, it will call it from the own class, mean from the child class. If it is not available, then it will go for the parent to access it. Are you getting my point?
Yes, yes, yes.
And this concept is known as overriding. Overriding means you have a facility that child has a access of the parent function, but still you are rewriting the function because you want to make the changes in the definition or implementation. This concept is known as overriding. So in case of overriding, the preference is given to the child. If the function is available in the child, then it will call from the child, otherwise it will call from the parent. And the best example, tell me one thing, we have two child, scientific calculator 2 and scientific calculator, yes or no?
Yes.
And now you can see it clearly. In my first child, scientific calculator has overridden the add function. In the scientific calculator, overridden the
Yes.
add function. Scientific calculator, I'm saying that, not two. In this class, we have overridden the add function.
No.
Tell me.
No, no, no.
No.
And in the scientific calculator, two.
Yes.
Yes.
So now just see the output here. Whenever I'm running this code, actually it is when I'm running this code on the scientific calculator class, because the add function is available here, so it is calling from child.
Child class.
But in the scientific calculator, I am calling it, it is not able to find the add function in his own class, so it is calling from
Parent.
Parent.
That's why you are able to see the output here, because both are the same, both have a same relationship with the parent, both are the child of the calculator, but one child has overridden it, so he is getting the overridden flavor, and one child who has not overridden, he is getting the flavor from the parent. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
So
Yes.
it
Yes.
means in the normal class, overriding is a choice. You have a choice. And nowadays it is frequently adopted by in the real world. Every child says that, oh, Papa has created an old kitchen in the, you can say, flat or in my house. I will modify it and make it smart kitchen. Okay. So you are not going to say that, okay, I will not take the property of the parent. I will take it, but I will override it. Yes or no? So that is the best example, that if you are happy with your parent, you can access their property. If you want, you can override it. Are you getting my point? And usually what people do, that they just inherited the bungalow from the parent, and then they create their own flats and structure there, and that is called overwriting. Getting my point? So here overwriting is a choice. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
So that's
Yes.
why you can say that one child is doing the overwriting, but again is not, one is not doing. So who is overriding? He is getting the overridden flavor, and who is not doing? So this is called overriding. Again, the thing is that overriding, because you can say that access specifier going to follow. So it means whenever you want to override, you can override only the functions which are accessible in the child. You cannot, people say that we cannot override the private function. Why you cannot override? Simple, that are not accessible outside. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
So simply the function which are accessible in the child, that you can override. If something is not available, how you can override? Override means function is coming from the parent, accessible, but still you want to override. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
So you can override only the public and protected functions. Getting my point? Everything is related. You don't need to always try to understand. If you understand, trust me, you will never forget. Is it okay? That is clear? Yes
Yeah.
or no? Now, the next level of, you can say, inheritance. That is that. So in the inheritance, I'm going to tell you one thing. Till now, you have seen that whenever I'm creating the object of a class, somebody asked me in the previous session also, whenever I'm creating the object of a class like calculator, every time the type of reference, this is same calculator. Yes or no? You can see that. Calculator object,
Yes.
calculator reference, calculator object, calculator reference. But now in case of inheritance, you have a very good, you can say, feature. And what is that? In inheritance, the feature is that whenever you are creating an object of a child, instead of creating the reference of the same child, you can create the reference of the parent.
Parent.
And I will tell you the benefit also, and that is reflecting here also. First benefit, tell me one thing, how many objects we have created here? One, two, three. Yes or no?
Yes.
And how many
Yes.
references I'm creating? One is cal,
Three.
One is science cal and one is SCC cal. Yes or no?
Yes.
I can use only one reference variable. Just think about that. This calculator is a reference of a type of parent. Yes or no? I can
Yes.
use the same reference here to point to the child. This is the advantage. Like every child can be pointed by the parent, can be pointed by the parent. This is only applicable for parent. A object, a reference type can be same as the child, or it can be the type of parent. Getting my point? And using the same reference variable, you can make the coding. Same, tell me one thing. Scientific calculator is also a child of calculator. Yes or no?
Yes.
So instead of creating a reference for it, we can use any existing reference which is of the parent. Now tell me, we have written the whole coding using a single reference variable. Yes or no?
Yes.
And the output is same. Just think about that. What is the advantage here? You have saved. Output is same, that only because you are creating the reference of the parent, and it is advisable. You are getting the advantage or not. But every time if the parent exists, you should always prefer to create the reference of parent. I will show you in my next topics that you have an option to create the child object, but parent is available. So usually they prefer parent. I can show you one thing here. Maybe you have not seen. I'm not going to cover that topic today, but I will show you. You know that in the Java we have a topic that is collection. Yes or no? Anybody know?
Yes.
So in the
Yes, yes.
collection we have a
Yes.
concept that is called array list. So this is the I have created the object of array list. Yes or no?
Yes.
If you
Yes.
want to create the object, you have an option like you write it some like this way. Da, 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 like this one. Array list equal to suppose object name is AL. Yes or no? This is the option.
Yes.
But you will see that you can go into the internet and 90% you will see that instead of here writing array list, they use,
List.
and it proves that. What is the relation between the list and array list? Tell me.
This is a
Child
parent.
and
List is
parent.
parent.
Excellent, you guys are awesome. It means simply whenever you are writing, it means list is a parent of the array. That's why you
Parent.
can store the object of array list in a list reference. And you can see here, if you go to the definition of array list also, let me show you the array list class also. Da, 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 da. Where is that? Where is that? I can show you. Let me open the array list. It should open it. It is not opening here. Yeah, this one. Let me show you the actually here. And very interesting thing I can show you here. Are you able to see the array list class? Yes or no?
Yes.
And here you can say they are using the extend keyword. And after they are
Extend.
using the implement, and you are able to see the same list is here. Yes or no?
Yes.
So because it means array list is actually array list has a relation with list as a child and parent. What is implements? I'm coming to that topic also. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I can cover this topic tomorrow, but actually you can see that everything is clear today. So if we will go with the same one today, everything will be easy for you. Tomorrow it will be little bit tough. So you can understand everything in the same way. And now that thing will be very easy for you. Okay. So now till now you have seen this thing is clear that you can create the object of a parent if you have a child object. Is it okay? Say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. Now I am just leave this topic here and I'm going to the another one. And what is that? First, let me show you one thing. Till now, what is happening here? Whenever you are creating a class, what you do, just I'm taking the example of Pradeep. Okay, I'm just taking the example of my own. I'm a Pradeep class. Okay, and just let me check that I have any Pradeep class or not. Otherwise, it will be confused. No, I don't have any Pradeep class in my any packet. Okay, so I've created a Pradeep class. This is a normal class. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
So now in the class, you know that we create the properties and function. Now I'm going to create a function here. Suppose take the example public void. A name of the function is, you are just think about that. I'm just writing the structure of my own flat. So I'm writing public void temple. So I'm just creating a function temple. Okay. Now what you are going to do after it, public void temple. And what you have to do, you have to get the curly bracket. What I told you, what do you mean
Body.
by curly bracket? Body. What do you mean by curly bracket? Body. So in your class, whenever you are creating a class which contains the function, which contains all the function, having the this is called signature of the function, and this is called body. It means if your class contains all the function which contains both the things, signature as well as body, these functions are known as complete functions. These are known as complete function, or you can say that non-abstract function. What they call it?
Non-abstract.
But sometimes what happens that you want to create a function in which you only want to declare it, you want to give the signature, but you don't want to give the body. These type of functions are known as abstract functions. What we call it? What we call it?
Abstract function.
So now the thing is that if till now you have not seen it, but now you have, what is happening here, whenever you are creating a class and you have to define an abstract function, means you want to define not the define actually term, you want to declare a function in which you want to declare the function, but you don't want to give the body of a function. These functions are known as abstract function, and for those functions, first of all you have to mention a keyword in the function abs. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me show the error also. That will be easy. Tell me what error you are able to see here. What error? Can anybody read the error for me?
It requires a body instead of a semicolon.
Okay, because it is saying that it is, according to Java, by default, it is saying that maybe you are forget to give the body, right? Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
So, but now what is the fixes here? It is saying that you have two options. Add body. I don't want to do it because intentionally I don't want to give the body. So first is not the fix. Second is change Pradeep template to temple to abstract. It means it is saying that if you really want to make this function without body, you have to mention a keyword abstract. I mentioned it. Still I'm getting the error, but you can see that what is happening. Just put your cursor here and now tell me, error is same or the message is different? Can anybody read the error for me?
Abstract method, temple, and type Pradeep can only be defined by an abstract class.
Okay, now it is saying that if you are trying to create any function as a abstract in your class, then you have to make your whole class as a
Abstract class.
Abstract class.
and now you can say error will be gone. But what is the disadvantage of such class? You cannot create the object of a abstract class. Now just do it here. If in the Irfan class I will try to create the object of a Pradeep class, you can't do it. Let me show you. New, and let me write Pradeep, Pradeep. Okay, if you are saying that Pradeep you are not importing it, let me import it. I have imported it. I imported, you can see the import statement here. Still you can say that what error you are getting, cannot instantiate the type Pradeep because Pradeep is a abstract class. We cannot create the object of a
Abstract class.
yeah. So
Abstract
now
class.
it means in your class, if you have designed a class in such a way that at least you have a one abstract method, it is mandatory to define the whole class a abstract. But it doesn't mean that you cannot define some normal function here. You can define the normal functions here also, like public void, and I will say welcome.
Sir, but
But
what is the use of this abstract class then?
yeah, I will tell you, I will come to that one. But this
Okay.
thing is clear that whenever you are going to create an abstract function in your class, you have to make your whole class as a abstract. Okay, at least one function is there, then you have to make the whole class as abstract, and you cannot create the object of a abstract class. Now I will show you the benefit also. Let me show you benefit and also the use of that. So let me write Pradeep temple, oh sorry, Pradeep welcome. So in the welcome, you have defined the body also, right? But you cannot define the temple because that is abstract. Is it okay? So it means what is abstract class? Abstract class is a class which contains both type of function, abstract, and we can call this function as a non-abstract. Is it okay? Say yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Third category, I'm going to create a class, another class for you. I don't want to disturb it. Suppose take the example. You want to design a class. I'm just taking the example of car. Okay. Whenever you want to design a class where you know that you want to define functions, all the functions should be abstract. I'm saying that all the functions should be, say all the
Abstract.
abstract. Now you can say that in that case there is an advantage, as I'm saying that public start, suppose start, stop, and let me write break, whatever you say that, start, stop. Only a condition is that while designing, if developer is thinking, okay, I cannot use the break because break is a keyword in the Java, so let me write break this one. So I want to create 3 functions in my class, not 3, I want to create all the function in my car class, but all the function I want to create it as a abstract. Getting my point? So according to what we can do it, we can mark the abstract in every function, and then we can mark the whole class as a abstract. Yes or no? We can do one thing, just simply follow the rule of abstract class. We can mark every function as a abstract, and then we can mark whole class as a abstract. Yes or no? Say yes or no, guys.
Yes.
But Java says that if you want to design such a class in which all functions you want to make it as a abstract, so you don't need to make an abstract class. You can do one thing, instead of making it class, you can make it interface. So now you can say that when I make it interface, are you able to see any error on any function which is saying that just make it abstract? Are you able to see?
No.
Because it means interface is a concept where by default all the functions are abstract, so you don't need to mention it. Interface by default have all the method abstract. So if you want to design a class where all the functions are abstract, you want to make it, just create that class as a interface. Instead of class, you can make it interface. Interface is a pure abstract class. Is it okay? Is
Yes.
it okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Now I will come to the question of that particular girl who asked me, Pradeep, if we cannot create the object of a class and we cannot create the object of an interface, then what is the use of these type of classes, and how we can use it, right? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes.
So now here you can say that in normal classes, inheritance, overriding is a choice, but in your interface and abstract class, overriding is must. Overriding is must. It means how you can override the function. First of all, you have to create a child of car, you have to create a child of Pradeep. Yes or no? Then you can override. Yes or no? So now in case of abstract class and in interface, actually inheritance and overriding is must. So now if you want to use this class, first of all, you have to create a child of. So I'm creating a child of Pradeep. I'm taking the example of my real daughter, Advika. I'm creating an Advika class. Now you are able to see that currently Advika is a normal class. How I can make this class as a child of Pradeep? Tell me, guys.
Extends.
EXTENDS. Pradeep, you guys are awesome. You are getting. I'm happy with my effort that you are getting. So now tell me, when I make it extend, actually, what is the rule? Every function which is available in the parent, that should be available as it is in the child. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
And now just think about that. If I'm writing it, why it is giving the error, I will tell you. It means both functions are public. So it means indirectly it is not visible, but these functions are appearing in this child class in such a way. Yes or no?
Yes.
Now
Yes.
just tell me, if your any class, either it is a child, doesn't matter, but it contains an abstract function, so the whole class should be abstract. Yes or no?
Yes.
Now tell me, if you don't want to make this Advika class as a abstract, so you have to define the body of this one. Yes or no?
Yes.
And now that's why whenever you make a relationship of a child and the parent is an abstract class, just see the error. What is saying that the type Advika must implement the inherit abstract method Pradeep.temple. What is saying that if your parent contains any abstract method, you have to overwrite if you want to make a proper child. If I will go with this one, it is creating the body of the temple. Yes or no?
Yes.
So in the abstract class, it is mandatory, it is must that you have to override the abstract functions of your parent. It is not mandatory to override the normal non-abstract function, but it is mandatory to override the
Abstract class.
abstract functions of the parent class.
Abstract function.
That is okay. And now tell me
Yes.
one thing. Now, if you are going to create an object of Advika class, you can call the temple function as well as welcome, because Advika has a access of temple function as well as welcome from the parent. Yes or no?
Yes.
Now you got it. So it means whenever you have an abstract class, inheritance is mandatory and the overridden is also mandatory. Now come to the car interface. This is also an abstract class, but a way of defining it interface. If I want to use it, I need to create a child of it also. Let me write it again. I'm going to write car child, or let me take the example of Swift. SWIFT. I have a very, very simple car. You guys are rich, you have a BMW. Okay. Okay, so this is a normal class, or it is a child of class, car class technically. Always talk about technical. This Swift is a child of car.
Come again.
I'm saying that this Swift class is a child of car class technically.
Yes.
No, till the time I'm not defining
No.
the keyword here, right?
Yes.
Okay, so here I want to tell you one thing. I know that you know that whenever you are going to make a relationship of inheritance, you use a keyword extends, and then you write car here. Okay, but here I want to tell you one thing. Whenever inheritance relationship is same, but Java says that whenever you are making an inheritance relationship, okay, and the child and parent both are of same type, like both are classes, then you should use the keyword extend. But if the
Extend.
child is class and parent is interface, so everything will be same, but they have defined some different keyword that is called. Are you
Yes.
getting my point? But don't confuse it. Only difference is that keyword, so that anybody can simply understand. Now, just tell me, using the implement, you can simply tell that Swift is a class and car is an interface. And whenever you are using a, you can say normal, you can say class where extend is there, you can simply that both are classes. So that is the significance. Otherwise, there is no other difference. Getting my point? Now, rule is same. Swift want to be the child of the proper child of the car. So it should override all the unimplemented abstract method. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Otherwise, these function will be appear same. So same thing it is saying that guys, add unimplemented method. And now you can say that, are you able to, oh, sorry. Are you able to see the all functions body here?
Yes.
So only the thing is that in case of abstract class interface, that is a part of designing, that sometime you have to declare the function, but you don't want to define it. Then in that case, the implementing class, the child class, is responsible to create a proper class by overriding the functions from the parent. Is it okay?
Yes.
Anybody have any doubt till now? This is the last concept of the inheritance.
Can you just summarize?
What you want to, because lots of the things we have covered it. What you want to
Oh,
ask
so
first?
this just the last point.
Okay, last point is that actually here the thing is that whenever a developer designs an abstract class and interface, in that case inheritance is must. Like I told you example, whenever you are using the, you can say calculator, you have designed a calculator class, inheritance was not mandatory. That were your choice that you want to inherit it, right? So that you don't need to rewrite the functions again. Yes or no? Yes or
Yes.
no? But that was your choice. But in the abstract class and interface, because you are creating the abstract functions, so you cannot create the object of a this class. You have to make a child of it. That is must. Now we can do one thing. We cannot create the object of Pradeep class, but we can make a object of a Advika class. We cannot create the object of a car interface, but we can create the object of a Swift class. Okay, now somebody asked me, Pradeep, why developer design the class in such a way? Okay, that is the only question which is left here. Okay, so here I want to tell you that this is the part of the designing. Like just think about that. I will give the example. For example, now you have seen that few things. I will take, I don't know whether you guys are young enough, so you don't know. So I will take the another example. Look, let me take the old example. You know that in the olden times, when the refrigerator was, it comes into the picture, only one company was that actually builds the internal body of the refrigerator. That was the only one. Okay, and that was the Calvinator. Other brands, whatever you are able to see, that can be Samsung, that can be LG, they just create the body of the fridge, but the actual implementation was given by the Calvinator. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
So that, I don't know, you can ask your parents also that but every brand was just launching the beautiful body structure, but the implementation is given by the, they actually buy the compressor, everything from the Calvinator was the only. Why I'm taking this example? Now you can take the example from the current world also. So suppose, take the example, nowadays you have seen that you want to open a mobile company. Okay, so what you do, you just create a mobile. Every feature is not owned by the own company. Some feature they just take it from someone else. You can take the example of computer. A company designs a computer, but they use the processor of which one?
Intel.
Intel. So actually you can say that whenever you are designing anything, you know that you need this feature, but the implementation is depend on someone else, then you made those function as a abstract. Are you getting my point? Are you getting my point?
Yep.
You know that every laptop should have a processor, otherwise it is not going to work. It can be LG laptop, laptop, it can be Lenovo, it can be Dell, but you know that every time they are going to make a proper place to put a processor there, but that processor will be implemented by Intel. Yes or no?
Yes.
So sometime you have to design. I can give the example of other things also. Like take the example. You know that the designing of a car and the manufacturing of the car, these are two different things. We have a different. A person designs a car. He is not going to create an engine, but he make a option that okay, in my design there will be option to start the engine, make a gear. So they will provide the start button. They will make a gear button. They will make a, you can say, clutch option, but they are implemented by the real anybody else. Yes or no?
Yes.
So you can take the example, a car company is designing an interface. Okay, this will be the structure of my class, that I will provide the feature of a start, stop, break, and maybe they can provide the feature of something like that. Suppose take the example of internet, Wi-Fi, whatever they are going to. So now this thing will implemented by some other class like Swift. In the Swift, we will define the how class will be, car will be start, how it will be stop, and how, what will be the break feature implementation. Are you getting my point? Are you getting my point?
Yes, yes.
So from your perspective, you don't need to focus so much on that till the time you are not going to create a very complex framework. But the purpose of creating this one is that developer always design that thing, that like when they are not 100% sure that how this thing should be, things should be work for everything. For example, so now tell me, suppose take the example, a car can be a Swift car, and Swift car can be a petrol car. A car can be a child diesel car also. A car can be electric car also. Yes or no?
Yes.
So tell me one thing. Can I write a implementation of the start function in car class? Because I know that if the child is a petrol car, the function of starting different, in diesel different, in electric different. Yes or no?
Yes.
So that's why designer does in such a way. So it depends on that. At the time of designing, what is their requirement and what is clear. Something is clear. Suppose few functions, they are clear that it should be there, but how it is implemented, they are not aware about that. Few functions, they know that okay, this should be available, and they know the implementation. Then they can go for abstract class. For the function, they are clear that should be available there, and how should they work, they will make it non-abstract. Getting my point?
Yes.
So when you have a requirement that you have, you know every requirement, what features should be there, but how every feature is going to work, make it interface and let decide the implementing person that how it is work. Now, but if you know that few features, you know that how it will work, and few feature you don't know, you can go with the abstract class. And if you know that you know every feature, and you know that every feature how it will work, then you can go with the Normal class. Getting my point?
Yeah.
So now this is the summary of the last topic, that in the normal class, inheritance and overriding is a choice. But in the abstract class and in the interface, overriding and the inheritance is must. If you are not doing the inheritance, if you are not overriding, you can't use it. Getting my point? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now here I want to you can say one more thing that is not actually, you can say new thing, but there is a terminology. Whenever you have a function in the parent and you are rewriting in the child, actually this is known as overriding, and this comes under a topic that is called polymorphism. That is called polymorphism. Polymorphism means whenever you are using the same thing in the multiple forms. Now tell me one thing. You have a same function name in the parent like add, and same function you have same with the same name in the child. So you are using two flavors. Yes or no? But the name is same in the parent child. So it is called function overriding, or in terms of polymorphism, it is called runtime polymorphism. What is called? It is runtime.
Polymorphism.
And here, if you want to see that why we call it runtime polymorphism, let me again go to the Irfan class. Tell me one thing. When I'm running this function, it is calling the function from the parent or child, scientific calculator. Scientific calculator 2. Okay, where is my scientific calculator? This one. It is called runtime because add function is available in the child. So when the code will run, it will pick from the child or parent.
Child.
Yes, and it is decided at runtime. And when I'm running this code, still the reference type is parent, but it will pick the function from the parent because child do not. So actually at runtime it will decide that it needs to pick the function from parent or child. That's why this is called runtime polymorphs. Getting my point? Yes or no?
Yes.
You just think about that. This code is written in the same way, but if somebody is going to change the implementation, just like this one, you can see that now the same code behavior will be changed. Yes or oh, not here. Okay, not here. Okay, this one, remove it. This one, I will tell you why this is not giving here, because cal function is not in my, okay, this one. Okay, yeah, add function is not in my, I'm not overwritten here. Now tell me one thing. Okay, so now let me run this code and tell me what is the output here. Both are calling from the parent. Yes or no?
Yes.
Because one child don't have. So at runtime it decide whether the function will come from the parent or child. So it is called runtime polymorphism. Yes or no?
Yes.
And now one topic that is very simple. I can cover it in the next, but very simple. That's why I'm covering it today. And that is the last one. Within 5 minutes it will be covered. Now whenever you have a one function in parent and you are creating the same name function in the child, that is called overriding. And again there is a thing that, suppose take the example, if you have a class and you want to create a function, let me take the example, I want to create a function to add two numbers. Just suggest me some name for that. Can you suggest me some name for a function to add numbers? Guys, suggest me some name. Some. Okay, and suppose take the example, it is adding two numbers. It is okay, so let me print it here. Suppose let me print a plus b. Is it okay? Okay, now I want to create a function to add three numbers. Just tell me what name you will suggest. What name you will suggest? Guys, why you are thinking so much? It means it is little bit tough to find some other name. Everybody was thinking about the sum. Yes or no?
Yes.
Because you are saying, Are Pradeep, I am going to add a function, add a number. So definitely the functionality is sum. So I'm just giving the sum name. You are saying I need to add three numbers. Again, you are doing the sum. Yes or no?
Yes.
So actually, by default, Java says that you cannot keep multiple functions in the same class with the same name. Are you getting the error of duplicate? Yes or no?
Yes.
So, but Java says that maybe requirement is that the functionality is same. The functionality is same, but the implementation is different. So that's why Java says that sometime it is required that you want to keep function names same on the base of functionality for multiple functions. Then you have to do one thing. You can make it possible, but you have to make a difference in all the function in some of the ways. One is
Yes.
number of
Parameter.
Arguments.
it means if you want to keep two functions with the same name, in one you are doing passing two parameter, you can create another one, but the number of parameters should be
Different.
now. Error is gone.
Yes, sir.
So it means you have two functions with the same name but different. Now suppose, take the example, you want to create the two functions with the same name with two parameters. Number of parameters is same, number of
Data
parameters
type should be.
Type.
Data
so
Type
type should be.
so data type of parameters should be different.
different.
Right.
Yeah, so they are giving that these are the option. Now it's your choice. So type means I want to create another same function. You cannot make it more both int and int. I will make one int and another float. Is it okay? Error is gone. Third
Now
condition, that if you want to,
sequence.
yeah, you guys are, that is the advantage of watching my previous video. That's why I'm saying that everybody should watch it. That's why I've given the whole access. Trust me, I have given the whole access in my channel. Okay, so now let me come back here. Third, sequence of parameter. So now I want to create the function with two parameter, int and float. Both are same. So still you want to do it, just change the sequence. Make first as a float and second as a
Int.
int. This one. And still you can say that still the difference is same. Both, one is int, one is float, and here both are.
Sure.
Or still you want to make the same data type also, then you make the change of sequence. Is it okay? And this concept is called
Function.
overloading.
Function overloading.
Function overloading. It means clearly simple. Function overloading takes place in the same class, and function overriding takes place in parent child.
Different.
In parent child. Okay. And now second thing is that overriding is a concept of runtime polymorphism, and overloading is an example of compile
Compiled.
time. Why I'm saying that compile time of polymorphism? Because while writing the code, if you will call this function, only it will be called. Getting my point?
Yes.
If you are
Yes.
calling this function and at the time of calling, you will see that which function will be called. For example, let me show you here. I am writing s1 dot. Are you able to see the all functions? All some functions, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
But in case of overriding, you was able to see the one function. It can be from parent or it can be from child. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
So here, at the time of writing or compiling a code, you can decide, okay, I want to call this one, this one, this one, and runtime, same function will be called. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
So it means function overloading is an example of compile time polymorphism, and overriding example of runtime polymorphism. Second difference, overloading takes place in the same class and overriding takes place in parent and child only. But both are comes under the topic of polymorphism because they are using the same thing, same name for multiple functions. Scenario is different. Is it okay?
Yes.
Yes.
So this is all about the inheritance. And trust me, if you can clear all the things, whatever I told you today, that will be enough to create a good automation framework. Otherwise, if I will go with the so much complexity that is used by the developer, trust me, you guys will be off. Okay, so it's my advice, whatever I covered it, that is sufficient for you. Just go through with it and you are going to be good to go with the framework. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Okay.
So I'm binding the session for the day and hope you guys will revise. If you need, you can take proper time for this revision also. But please, guys, revise all the things now. Revise this thing, revise previous session also. Whenever course will be moved to the next level, it will be tough for you to revise. So keep revising every day. Is it okay?
Okay.
Great. So now let me stop the recording here.